Hey, this is Sir Charles Carey. I want you to join me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for the Tru Mu Podcast, True Music. That's where we talk about all things.
I'm a musician, singer-songwriter, producer, engineer.
All things creative.
Me and my co-host, Carl T. Smith, the smooth one, will be glad to hear you, glad to talk to you, answer your questions, and talk all things music. The Tru Mu Podcast, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Be part of the energy.
I can see that thing that makes men stop, stand still, all in denial, suffer loss of will.
All right. We're back at it again one more time doing what we do. I am Sir Charles Carey. I got a little bit of a different setup here, so I'm a little bit, miscombobulated, whatever. But look, I'm excited about today's show and all the things we're going to talk about, all the things that we will uncover. You know, I was out in Vegas for a few days last week, so I've got a new energy on me, and I'm, looking at the other side of the microphone and looking at all the things that I do and all the things that I'm planning on doing, as well as the current side of the microphone. So you have tapped into the Tru Mu Podcast, where we talk about all things creative, all things innovative, and that includes you. Carl T. Smith, what's going on, sir?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, it's all that in a bag of chips.
Tell
Yes,
me
sir.
about it.
Yeah, look, today we've got a guest. I'm going to jump right in. If you've ever thought about getting in shape, wanting to understand why and how, and how it impacts your body and maybe even your psychology, you're going to want to listen to this conversation. But like always, we're going to take it from the beginning, and then we'll bring it up to the current point. Today's guest is a good friend of mine that I just met, but seems like I've known him for a long time. Davontae Hogan. Davontae, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's good, everybody? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Look, man, I was just sharing the fact that, being out in Vegas for a few days, you get a different energy, especially when you're with the right people, or you're with like-minded individuals. And before we jump into that, I really wanted to find out a little bit about the young version of Davontae before you became, the fitness and the exercise and the health-oriented person that you are. Tell us a little bit about the young version of yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, the young Davontae, I'm, from Dallas, Texas. We known for our barbecue and good soul food. My dad has roots in like Louisiana, so I was actually talking to one of the guys at the mastermind. He has family out there, so
Nice.
connected on that. But yeah, no, I've always been a kid who loved like being active, right? Whether it's football, basketball. I wanted to do like martial arts. When I was younger, I used to watch all the Bruce Lee movies, Jet Li, Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but my mom, being a single mom, she could only of three, she can only afford, like putting me in AAU basketball. So, it was smart at the time, right? I didn't want to stress about something so frivolous like that. But I've always been kind of just like drawn to just like doing stuff that I love. But if the byproduct of that is I can like, sweat and lose weight, stay healthy, that's a win-win in my opinion.
Okay. But you also have a background in music. You play what, sax, clarinet? What instruments did you play when you were coming up?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a background like you guys. You guys are that's y'all. I wouldn't want to disrespect y'all profession like that. But I definitely it's just I've always liked to just stay. I don't want to say busy, but just I've always wanted to just do stuff, right? So in 5th and 6th grade in my elementary school, we had an orchestra band, and during that time, when I was around that time, that's when drumline came out. So everybody wanted to be on the snare drum, and it was funny because our band instructor, Mr. Tejada, he was like, and he had to flex on us for a little bit because he got a snare drum. He's like, let me guess, all y'all want to do this, and he did the routine from drumline, like he did it, like and we also, and he's like, well, that's not what we doing here. So
he reeled y'all in.
Yeah, yeah, he burst that bubble real quick. But no, yeah. So we had our woodwinds, we had our brass and everything. So the reason why I played clarinet and saxophone. So and the reason why I had to play the clarinet because my sister, who's 5 years older than me, she was in band and then she quit. And my mom was like, "I'm not about to buy another instrument just for you to quit." So she was like, "You stick with this year, and then we'll talk about getting the instrument." Because I wanted to play saxophone originally, right? Kenny G, and my grandma used to play like all those old like jazz tracks for me. And so I played the clarinet. I was the only guy in the clarinet section, so that was interesting. But so I stuck with it, and then my mom was like, "All right." So we went to got me an alto saxophone, and I did that. But unfortunately, I never stuck with it. So I forgot how to play it because I went to turning 12, 13 years old. Going through puberty. My focus was shifted more towards like basketball because that's when they started having basketball at my school.
Okay. Cool, cool. So, now at some point, well, I mean, before I even move on, Carl, you have any questions for him?
So, you played in the band when you was in junior high?
Like intermediate, yes, sir. Like fifth and sixth grade, like right after fourth elementary school.
You sounds like my story. Did you have a solo? Did you play anything? Did they give you a solo or something? Or
yeah. So what we had to do is I don't know if you guys had it, but we had these like chair like rankings or whatever, like your first chair, second chair, third chair. Yeah. So that meant like for those who don't know, that means like when we do have performances, the first chair gets the solo, and then and then it goes down the line. And what we had to do is during like band practice, we had like these little rooms where we can go into like a recording studio, and we would have to play our sheet music of our solo, and he would listen to it, and he would determine like, okay, well, so and so ain't been practicing, so I'm gonna go with this person, right? So, honestly, like I was never good, like because it's not that I didn't like had a talent, but I was just like when I'm done with like 8 hours of school, I just want to go home and play video games. I just want to go home and like try to talk to girls or hang out with my friends. So yeah, I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. Now basketball, man, I would like dribble a tennis ball from the bus stop. I was trying to be like Kobe and Jordan, and when I didn't make the team, I would cry, and like my mom and grandma would have to try to. Because Jordan didn't make his freshman team, I was like, well, I'm not Jordan apparently. So it was, but I definitely put more passion into basketball and martial arts than I did music.
It's all good. So, obviously you got older, and at some point you really, because you did get into martial arts, jujitsu, as far as memory can serve
Yes,
properly.
sir.
Okay, and how long did you practice? Did you study?
So I'm still training, but it's been off and on because I've been like moving around, but off and on for 6 years now. So
Nice. Now, is it graded with belts like other arts are, or
yes, sir.
how it is?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so for jujitsu, every martial art has their own ranking system or promotion system. Not everyone does belts. Like Muay Thai does cords, where it's like these little cords that wrap around you, different color ones. But for jiu-jitsu, it's white, blue, purple, brown, and black. And they in the olden day, like in the past, they would use like stripes on your belt.
Okay.
And you have to get 4 stripes to get your next belt. But now
Okay.
schools are kind of getting away from that. Why? I don't know. But I guess they're kind of looking at it like it doesn't really matter. Because I mean, like they can still like watch you, critique you, and be like, okay, this person's been training for 6 months consecutively. He's getting better, or she's getting better. So we'll give them the next belt. So, but that's
And what was that class that you graduated from? I saw something on one of your profiles. It was a picture of you. You had graduated from what was it
my
called?
in my Facebook banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Krav Maga.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like that's for those who don't know, that's the close quarter combat system the Israeli army or military uses. It was honestly, I wouldn't even it wasn't on my radar, but the gym that I went to, they offered it. and it had a mix of everything, like Muay Thai, grappling and stuff like that. And yeah, so I was like, oh, cool, this is pretty cool. Because I never wanted to train martial arts to be like a sport, like to go like try to win medals or anything. It was more for like self-defense, protect
You wanted
myself.
to jack people up. Come on, let's keep it real, man.
What's what's funny about that?
What's that?
And my mom could testify to that. I used to, because I'm from the hood, so I used to get into a lot of street fights.
Really?
Yeah, I had a lot of anger issues because my parents separated when I was real young. I didn't know what was going on.
Understood.
I thought I was the reason for their divorce. So I went from like a straight A student and my grades just dropped. And all my teachers that like knew I was a good student, they would call my mom and ask her. And yeah, I had a lot of like so I would just like somebody bump into me like wrong before they can even like try to, even if they wanted to apologize, I'm already like swinging on them. So
wow.
did the opposite. Martial arts actually calmed me down in my 20s, where it's like, okay, it's not that serious. Like if they're not like threatening my life, I can just walk away, right?
Carl T, you know anything about that?
Just a little bit, just a bit, a little bit.
Right.
Do share, Carl. Did you focus on that discipline too, Carl? Is that something you were? I know you're familiar with it, but what was your discipline that you focus on?
Shotokan, but a
Shotokan,
lot of other stuff. Jujitsu. I call them my rat pack. I got guys who do Miyama-Ryu and San-Yukas. There's a bunch of New York rat pack, people that we all hang out and exchange and stuff like that.
Nice.
That's dope.
Nice. So one good thing, one interesting thing I'll say that you've shared so far, Davontae, was about how, and this is important for those of you that are watching. We're speaking with Davontae Hogan, fitness, martial arts. He does a few different things, but when you shared the fact that your grades went down because of the family trials and tribulations, the breakup with your mom and dad, it just brings that home to be real. When you hear statistics about things of that nature, I know everybody's different, but it doesn't usually resonate. But by you saying that, that just brings it home on how realistic and how important the family values are, and how sometimes we can take for granted, how people are or are not impacted.
Right.
And I applaud you on your transparency, because for some people, they probably don't even realize why their mindset is shifted, altered, off, or what's missing inside of them. But you identified it straight on, and I think somebody needed to hear that. So I definitely appreciate your transparency. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I can't take credit for that because I'm a Christian. So my mom, when she couldn't figure it out on her own, she did the best thing and give it to God. And she took me to my church where we had a youth program that helped at troubled youth teen boys. Again, like my church, for those who don't know, it's Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship, Dr. Tony Evans. For those who,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so it's literally in Oak Cliff, so that's like in the heart of the hood, and he helped me pack all of that. Where we focused on like getting down to the root cause of like where's all this anger coming from, and at a young age of like 13, 14, that taught me that, again, like the Bible talks about community and having the right people around you. So
Yeah.
even like now today, like what we're talking about in our business, it's like if you're surrounded by people who want to heal and grow, you're going to heal eventually, or you're going to like get away from that because you want to do something different, right? And so my youth pastor, he just really like helped me get down to the root of the problem. So I think for people watching, if you're dealing with that, yeah, it's nice to identify that on your own, but you definitely need somebody to talk to, whether it's your pastor, your coach. I had coaches too that would like, give me that fatherly advice that I was missing in the home, where, where they would teach me that you're a man. You can't let your emotions control you. You got to be in control of your emotions.
You had another nugget, man, because even that, in our communities, doesn't matter what part of the country you're in our communities, sometimes it seems that is lacking. the male role of inspiring, encouraging, and looking out for other younger males. And not only just the fact that it's missing. I think we're torn with the old wives' tales of what goes on in this house stays in this house, and mind your business,
Yeah.
or the stepfathers of the world. I mean, no one's perfect,
Right.
but it's just something that's really important. I think it has begun to be um not begun, it has been overlooked over the years for various reasons. So again, another transparent moment that you share openly, and again, I applaud you on that because that is important. In fact, it was a few years ago, quite a few years ago, TD Jakes had a what's the name of it, he had a book and a CD out, and one of the it was powerful. I mean, he had Smokey Norfolk,
Mm.
he had oh man, what's his name? I can't think of the guy. Donnie McClurkin.
Oh,
All of
nice.
them on the same album, right?
Yeah.
And in between each song, there were talking points, and it was so well crafted, the entire project. But one of the things he said, as a man, he grew up. He knows that boys need their fathers, but fathers also need their sons, and that like
Mhm.
struck me like a ton of bricks because I've always emotionally been very close to my kids, and some people would say, of course, duh, but no, because some men are afraid to express their emotions.
Mm.
Some men don't like to admit or acknowledge the fact that they have love or want to even be loved. And
Yeah.
I don't think there's any problem with that. And I just thought it was a very profound part in this musical slash because it was a book to music slash book project that TD Jakes put out, and I still have it. The project, the album, the book. It's really pretty good. So yeah, any comments, Carl, on what we're saying so far before we move forward?
Can't hear you.
That would help, right? No, yeah, no. It I mean, far back as I could remember, I mean, times are so different now, but it used to be a community that used to raise you.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
So there were so many figures, father figures, mother figures, and people that in my day. But I'm only 21, so it's not that long ago for me.
Love it.
sure, sure.
Y'all laughing a little too hard.
Oh,
Nah, but you definitely, from how you're describing the young version of you and where you are today, there's definitely leaps and bounds or miles apart from the younger version of you and the current version of you. So I applaud you on your progress and the things that you've learned thus far, and I can only imagine there's going to be more growth for you and in you. So when did you become like an instructor, or get the idea of using some of your experience in your discipline of martial arts and fitness? When was that birthed?
Great question. Honestly, yeah, I've always wanted to like give back, and the Bible tells us, the greatest among you will be your servant, Matthew 23. And I just always wanted to just serve and just preach the gospel. So I didn't know how to do that. And then I watched, I knew of Omar El Takori from Think Media. And one day
Same.
he had Myron Golden on.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this podcast. I'm like, man, who is this man talking? He's like preaching today. And then he threw in his offer for like the Make More Offers challenge. And then and this was in June of this year. And I was like, oh shoot, that's in a few weeks. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's only like $97 for a ticket. I was like, shoot, why not? Let me buy it. And then I bought the VIP for like, I think it was $297. And just the gems he was dropping in there, and just helping me like just believe in myself to be like, because I always thought of myself of like, nobody wants to like listen to me. Nobody wants to like learn from me. You know what I'm saying? There's better coaches out there because I'm still like a white belt, right? So far in the martial arts sense, but I'm like, bro, people can go pay all the money to these black belt like world trainers that's like beating everybody. And Myra just said, like the challenge just like shifted everything about just like, and then Omar too about like having your own personal brand, right? Like don't do the content, be the content, right?
Mm.
And yeah, so I give all credit to my coaches and mentors for like shifting my limited belief on that I can do this. Not only can I do this, I can like excel at this and thrive in this market.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty powerful. And just to speak to your at that time limiting the belief, I don't know how many martial artists, martial arts instructors, martial arts instructors that are growing and evolving that have a spiritual background. I'm sure there are, but I don't know them and they may not be openly known. So maybe your niche
Mm-hmm.
is the original or the unique thing within itself.
Yeah.
So it sounds as if, this whole entrepreneurial journey and endeavor is something that you're sinking your teeth in, I guess, within the last year or so.
Yep.
What tell us a little bit more? Is it dealing with the martial arts part, the fitness part? Is it nutrition? What actually is it in consisting of?
My coaching.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say more so it started as a mix of all three, but as I got more training from like Myron, Omar, and Richmond, I kind of like they helped me like kind of like chip away at the marble and kind of get more down to the meat and potatoes. So it really focused on like, again, I can give everybody that's in my program, I can give you all the workouts, I can give you all the nutrition recipe books, guys, whatever. But if you still gonna like when we get off the call, you're gonna have a limited belief that I'm always gonna be fat, you're gonna go right to McDonald's, you know. So the first step is to, tear down the old foundation and build a new one, right? And the Bible talks about building your house on a shaky foundation. If the storm comes, it's gonna blow it away, right? So my job and my mission is to like rebuild your foundation so that my program is only 12 weeks, but even after, if you decide to like graduate from the program, you're confident in the tools that I've provided you, in the mindset that we help reshape to where now you can say like, okay, I got it now. Like I can freestyle, I can create some different recipes than what Davontae recommended because I have clarity now. And I think that's what everybody needs when you're trying to figure out your mission in life, your purpose in life, is to find somebody who can give you clarity and not just clarity, but the next steps, plan of action, right? So that's what I do.
Okay. Okay. Carl, what you got?
So how you said it's a 12-week program or course? Is it something you do live or is it online?
Yes, sir. Great question. It's a program. I found out because I'm one of these people like that too, but it's not really beneficial. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have like modules and videos for people to watch, but like 90% of 80% of those people are not going to watch it because it's just like they're busy. They'll always say like, oh, I can just watch it later, especially if you give it to them like for unlimited access. Those numbers may increase of watching it if you like say, hey, you got to watch these videos before the program ends, so you got like 3 months to watch X amount of videos, right? But it's just more transformational when it's live and like how we're doing now, and people can ask like questions that they're having roadblocks, right? Because if they're watching the videos, some of those videos might confuse them to where they have more questions than answers, right? Mm-hmm. So now when it's live once a week, during the 12 weeks, they can come in, they can post their, they can share their wins. We have a community where we're building each other up, sometimes, and like I tell people, sometimes we fall off the wagon, right? Like, like in Vegas, I did not eat healthy. Like I was in Vegas and California for the past like 6 days. So I'm drinking a whiskey here and there. I'm, eating burgers and like just, having a good time. But I can do that when you work hard like 90% of the year. You deserve to enjoy yourself those 10% when you're on vacation with friends and family, you
got to be able to let your hair down.
Yeah, if you're all work and no play, it makes somebody dull, right?
But what if you don't have hair? I don't have hair. I mean, I'm gonna let my hair down. Come on, you taking a jab at me? Come on, man.
That's funny.
No, but so would you say the coaching program is based on fitness, like nutritional fitness? You know,
Mhm.
your health and wellness. Is that more of the core focus?
Yeah, I definitely have a more. I guess people will try to like niche me as a holistic coach.
Okay.
More of like because I believe again, I get my playbook. My health program. I got it from the Bible. The Bible gives us everything we need, especially nutrition on like what we should eat. So everything that I get it from the Bible. And yeah, so I built my program around the Bible, and it's easier when people can be like, oh, it's not only can I like get results, but the food can taste good too, right? Like
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like for example, people, and again, like the big pharma industry and like with the food pyramid, they set us up for failure, and like people are afraid to eat eggs, and people are scared of raw honey. And I'm like, dude, you can put you if you get a cut on your arm or your leg, you can put raw honey on it, and it's already healing overnight because the bacterial properties that natural raw honey has that you get from like a local farmer from they got bees out in the back instead of like the grocery store is so God put everything on here for a reason, right? So when again, it's also like
So let me ask you this: do people think with some of the things you're talking about, like this guy's crazy? Where'd he
uh,
get that from?
yeah, I mean they probably do have those they probably do, and that's fine. I mean, and it's not like I'm just bringing this out of thin air. Like again, I can just like take them to the Bible, or I can even not even if they're not Christian, I can. There's so many studies that backs what me and coaches in my spaces talk about, where you see the results. Even our grandparents, right? Like it was a reason why our grandparents in the 40s and 50s and 60s were so fit and so healthy because they're just eating steak, eggs, raw dairy. You know what I mean? Now all these people have gluten allergies and all these like cellular diseases, and we didn't have this 120 years ago, and it's a reason for that. So
Yeah, they put a lot of crap in our food supply, and the
yep,
way they treat and grade and raise our food isn't natural like it used to be. So who knows what's in this stuff, you
100%.
know?
And
So
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. That was it.
What are some of your biggest challenges far as you seem to be, from what you're saying, you have a discipline that most might not have. So did how did you develop that discipline?
Great question. For me, it was just like I got tired of just like being fat. Like that's I know that sounds simple, but it was just like I used to hate like how I dress and wouldn't go out because I was insecure. Just like I got this beer gut at like in my 20s and early 30s. So yeah, discipline is definitely key because like I tell people, motivation will fade. Motivation is a feeling. You can feel motivated to go to the gym, and then the next day you don't feel motivated. So you be like, all right, I'm not going, right? Um,
But it's like deodorant, you have to put it on every day, right?
you have to put it on every day.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right? Yeah, some people don't like we tell the truth, shame the devil, right? 'Cause,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but no, it's discipline, but it's also like again, I try to make it fun for my clients in the sense of like if you're married, like if I have a female client and she has her husband and kids, and she's like, oh well, my kids don't like this type of food. I'm like, well, don't tell them. They don't. Most of them, if they're young kids, they're not gonna know unless you be like, oh hey, like because for example, my niece, she doesn't eat cheese, but if I make her a dish like with some cheese in it and I don't tell her, she's gonna love it.
Hmm.
And so it's like kids don't know all the time, and I think too is like if everybody wants things fast and easy, right? So if I can create like help them like understand like because how they look at it on the negative is I gotta get off of work. I've been here 8+ hours. I gotta go home now. I gotta cook for another hour, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like more work, right? But what if it doesn't have to be more work, right? What if it can be fun, right? Like, and so that's the goal is to not just be disciplined in your craft or whatever we do, but just to have fun with it.
But you know, the biggest challenge, I'm going to assume, like with many other entrepreneurs, some of the biggest challenges are the people that we're talking to and the people that we're trying to help. They've got people around them that have stinking thinking. So,
I like that.
so that's
It's a
that's
bar.
probably one of the biggest hindrances that people have. They
Stinking
may
thing.
be all in for it, but then all of a sudden, here comes the husband or the spouse, like, I'm
Yep.
not doing that. We don't have money for that and all that kind of stuff.
No, that's really a great point, and that is a common objection, not just in my industry, but every industry, right?
Exactly.
Where you have the people who want to make a change in their life, and there's nothing worse than like having a spouse or a partner who don't believe in you, right? Because you'll say
Yeah.
like for like if a woman that you're coaching, Charles, where she wants to speak on stage and she has 5-day call with you and she's feeling like motivated, and then she told her husband, he's like, what are you going to talk about? Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And then that just immediately, all that work you put in her, and like those seeds that you sowed in her, like just they're not being nourished.
Yeah, it's so deflating. I've had scenarios like that. I've had people pay for coaching and not show up, and I'm constantly calling them like, "Hey, we have a 1 o'clock. What's going on?" Or, the my husband says this, or my husband. I'm like, wow.
Mm,
So I can attest that that is a big challenge. And I was just thinking as you were speaking, this is probably your best and worst season of all. Thanksgiving, man.
yeah. Yeah, no, well, yeah. I mean, like, I try not to like base anything on like seasons. It's just like Omar said, the reason why people not buying our stuff is because we're terrible salespeople, right?
Well,
Sales
that's true too, but
transfer.
this is like an emotional time of the year. And come on, man, I got cranberry sauce, I got stuffing, I got turkey, I got
Yeah,
pot roast, I
yeah,
got fried chicken.
yeah. Well, and again, like what he's, sales is a transfer of energy. So it's like if the energy isn't right, if we're not setting a tone, because like you said, people gonna be like, oh, I got the holiday and then Christmas. I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna be even further from your goals. Like you say, you want to lose weight, you want to be like, for women, you want to be like 3 dress sizes smaller. I'm not saying you don't have to eat. You're not gonna don't have to eat the Thanksgiving food, because I'm gonna eat the Thanksgiving food, man. My mom cooked like the best of them, right? But it's what we're doing. On those, that's Thanksgiving is one day out of the year. Christmas is one day out of the year. So you have 364 days.
Yeah, man, but they got, you see the pound cakes on the table?
You
Yep.
sound
You
like you
know?
talking from experience.
Hey, hey, hey.
I'm just saying. I'm just listening. All right.
Hey,
Let
man.
me all right. I ain't saying nothing.
Now you talking about, first we was talking about my hair, now he's talking about
I
Well,
mean,
I'm just saying. It
your
sounds
hair.
like experience there. Pound cake with
yeah,
cranberries.
the French apple
Fitness.
pie, the
Yeah.
cobbler.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, just get one. Just be one and done.
One?
Yeah,
But
get
there's
either
three
the
of
pie.
them.
Yep,
Yeah.
the pie. You can't have cranberry sauce and pie. That's another thing too. We do too much here in America. When I travel abroad, in Italy, they eat pasta, bread, pizza, wine. But I'm like, dang. But they eat smaller portions. One, the ingredients are cleaner. Two,
Ah.
as soon as they're done eating, they walk everywhere. They're walking.
Uh-oh.
Like here in America, what do? We get Thanksgiving food. We're gonna sit our butts down in front of the TV watching football. We not burning the food off by walking or even going outside throwing the ball with the kids or the dogs, just being active, just like that I try to coach people in my program, just to make life fun again, where it's like, if we're always thinking about like, oh man, I got to work out today. Dang, I didn't work out this. I didn't do this. I just ate. Okay, if you eat a donut in the morning to work, just instead of eating on lunch, just go for a 10-minute walk or a 20-minute walk on your lunch break, right? And just drink water for the rest of the day until you get home for dinner.
Right.
It's
So
just like little steps like that,
so portion control obviously
Mhm.
is a very important part of the discipline, and I got a thing, and I always talk about being open, honest, clear, and direct. honesty. You gotta be honest with yourself. If you like donuts and you've been having coffee and donuts for the last 10, 20 years because you like Dunkin' Donuts or whatever,
Yeah.
then you sacrifice something in the evening or in the afternoon. Is that kind of like a good rule of thumb?
Yeah, I definitely say it's a good rule of thumb because it's a principle that I live by too. So I try to tell myself, and this is I don't really try to coach my clients on this because I'm way harder on myself. So like for example, I have days like I'm like, all right, if you're not gonna go train jujitsu today, you can't have any like beer or any like type of treat, right? You don't do
Right.
1,000 steps minimum. You can't eat like something sweet, right? And that's like, okay, do you really? How bad do you want this sweet treat? Because if I don't have the energy to work out, then I don't have the energy. I shouldn't have the energy to eat bad food, you know.
Gotcha. So now I understand, you got your program, your coaching, and many people like us, we do different things. But one of the many things that we do to help people in our business is we have these different challenges and webinars and coaching programs. What are or do you have a program coming up or a challenge that you're going to be introducing or presenting or something that you're working on?
Yeah. So again, like you said, the holidays are coming up, so I am running a 5-day tiny challenge. December 1st to the 5th. It's free. It's my way of like giving back, during because of the holidays, and it's 45 minutes. We can do it over the phone, Zoom, and it's just 5 days of me helping you break down those barriers and just figuring out what's the root cause of the weight or the struggles of or the limited beliefs of why you can't lose the weight, right? So yeah.
So without giving away too much, because that's the purpose of the tiny challenge, is there a specific focus, or can you tell a little bit? And I don't want you to get too
Yeah.
deep in the weeds, but can you tell a little bit about what they may gain from this 5-day challenge?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Mr. Charles. Actually, everybody's different. So my challenge is based off the person I'm doing the call with, right? Day one is me figuring out what's your strongholds or struggles, and the rest of the week is me helping you figure those out. Um, yeah. So what they can get out of that challenge is even if they don't want to sign up, what they'll get out of those 5 days is just more clarity and confidence that they can at least take a crawl, right? If they can't walk to the next step, they can at least crawl, right? Before they were stagnant. So
Mm,
that's still progress, right? And that's the goal,
right.
just to keep making progress till you reach your goals.
Okay. And you said it's going to be from December 1st to December 5th. Is that the right time frame?
Yes, sir. 5 days.
Okay. And like, will people see it? Is it going to be on social media? How are you going to promote it or talk about it? Where will the I guess ads or
Mhm.
advertisement flyers, whatever? How are people going to find out about it?
Yeah, they can. I'm definitely gonna be posting on Facebook. But if anybody's watching this now and wants to get an early start, just send me a DM on Facebook. Davontae Hogan is my Facebook, and just send me a DM, Tiny Challenge or TC, and I'll send you the information.
Nice, nice, man. Okay, Carl, what you got?
So this 5-day challenge that you got coming up, right?
Mhm.
Um, well, first of all, it's in the evening or early in the day, or it just depends on who signs up for the challenge.
Great question. Again, it's all I want to make it so easy for my clients that they can't say no. So if it's better for you to do a call at 7 p.m., we'll do it at 7. If it's better for you to do it at 5 a.m., we'll do it at 5. Right.
Oh,
And
okay,
like
okay.
I'm showing my goal is to let people know how obsessed I am with their problems because I had those same problems. And I know how to help overcome those problems. But you got to take the first step, right? And I had to take those same step, and it's scary, right? I understand it's scary because we're creatures of habit. We like familiarity, we like comfortability. But once, like like my coaches and mentors, they always tell me, we got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you want to be successful, not just like financially, but if you just want to be successful in anything in life, You got to be uncomfortable. Prime example. I hate like talking in like large crowds. I know that's kind of counterintuitive for the business I'm in, but one of my goals for myself in 2026 is to at least get on 4 small stages and publicly speak in front of people.
Nice.
Right? So that's uncomfortable for me, and that's because I grew up with a speech impediment, like stuttering and everything, but I've gotten better. But like still, it will come up sometimes when I'm talking. But yeah, that's my goal for my challenge is to get the people who come in, even if they don't sign up to my program, it's just like, dang, those 5 days with Davontae, I got like a whole new mindset. I got a whole new way to. There's so much information out there. So if you're one of those persons who can say like, okay, I just need like to be pointed in the right direction and give a little information I can take off from there. That's fine. That's what the challenge is for. But if you're somebody who needs like somebody to walk with you step by step, which is perfectly fine as well, that's what the challenge is for also.
Nice. That's all right.
Is it focusing mainly on weight control?
I wouldn't say weight control. Again, the challenge is that's more into the program. The challenge is more flexible to just handle whatever the client needs for those 5 days.
Okay.
And again, weight is a symptom and a byproduct of something deeper of the root cause. And the challenge is really just to get, again, like if I can help them uncover what that root cause is and help them say it out loud, write it down, make it real. Once you make it real and tangible, you can kill it. So that's
that's nice. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. So saying it out loud is key. Yeah,
yes, sir.
that's all right. Well, man, look, man, definitely appreciate you, sharing some time to talk about, your humble beginnings and, what you're doing now and what's coming up. Your challenge starting December 1st through December 5th. It should be something that really impacts a lot of people. And again, this is probably a really good season, in a challenging season at the same time because of the holiday and how people like to eat and share food and the whole family dynamic. I get it, but it's still a necessary thing that we need to be able to acknowledge for our own better good. So, much success to you, man. Much success for sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was nice meeting you in the mastermind, Mr. Charles, and I look forward to linking again soon. Y'all have a blessed day and take care.
Do the same.
All right.
Until next time,
Yes, sir. Take care.
radiate the brain and change the game, folks.
Let's go.
Let's go.